के देते हैं, लेकिन और लिखने वाला कहाँ जाता है तो पता नहीं।
75 साल से जब से देश आजाद हुआ आप लोगों ने कभी बिजली नहीं देखी, कभी कोई बल्ब जलते हुए नहीं देखा?
नहीं देखा मैंने, बिल्कुल नहीं देखा जी।
आपके गाँव में कोई पढ़ा लिखा है, कोई स्कूल? क्योंकि स्कूल तो है, पढ़ाई करते हैं बच्चे? करते हैं। तो कैसे पढ़ते हैं अगर लाइट नहीं है तो?
लाइट नहीं तो दिन दिन के पढ़ता है। हाँ। दिन के पढ़ता है। यहाँ
नक्सलियों का गांव है इसलिए यहाँ पर सरकार नहीं दे रही है, क्या ऐसा हो सकता है? नक्सली
तो पहले थे लेकिन अभी तो नहीं है। तो अभी तो गुरुजी आ रहा है, कैंप भी आजू बाजू भी बिठा है। अभी तो कैंप बैठने से हम लोग लिख के दिए, तब पर भी आना चाहिए, रोड आना चाहिए, बिजली आना चाहिए, और पीने के लिए बोरिंग नहीं ना कुछ नहीं है।
आपके हाथ में ये मोबाइल है, इसको कैसे चार्ज करते हैं? बिजली तो है नहीं।
बिजली नहीं, कुछ नहीं, बैटरी से चार्ज करते।
तो एक बैटरी कितने दिन चल जाती है?
बरसात में नहीं चलता है।
बरसात के टाइम पे नहीं चलता है। नीचे किसी और गांव में कहीं और से जाके चार्ज करके लाते हैं?
जी।
Good evening, hello and welcome. You're watching The Nation at 5. I'm Manish Sisodia. Top focus this hour are the blasts that took place in Ernakulam. It happened at a Jehovah Witness Convention Center. 3 people are reportedly dead. More than a dozen people, more than 2 dozen people have been injured and have been taken to nearby hospital. A person named Dominic Martin seems to be the prime accused who's under the investigation right now. The police officially has stated that the investigation is underway. Under various provisions of law, FIR has been registered, including UAPA, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Very little information right now is on record. These are prima facie preliminary details that have emerged. The prime suspect or accused in this case has said that he himself was part of the Jehovah Witness, and he has taken this step in the light because he thought that the community was not following the right terms, or they were not singing the national anthem. There is a very famous case that went to the Supreme Court, which was about Jehovah Witnesses not wanting to sing the national anthem. The Supreme Court upheld that right. However, once again, that has rigged up this controversy. That is the version that Dominic Martin has really come up with. Here are some key pointers that we can tell you about this case. This is what the probe has revealed so far. Unhappy with the Jehovah Witnesses. This is a particular community that believes in a certain set of rules, ethics, and a moral code of conduct. He fought with Jehovah Witnesses in the past as well. This is what the investigation has revealed so far, and he wanted, the prime accused Dominic Martin says, he wanted to teach the community and witnesses a lesson, and that is why he took the step that he took. Jehovah Witnesses against the national anthem and hoisting the national flag, and also Christmas. These are, of course, the tenets that the community follows. Planned this attack during COVID-19. Most of the material that he used for creating this bomb are materials which are available in an ordinary household or can be easily procured from the market. This saw trigger device making videos on YouTube, and that is how he created a bomb. That is what preliminary details have revealed to us here on CNN News 18. Petrol, thread bombs, heating coil, all of that was used, which is used in any locally produced explosives which are there. But this case points out to an internal strife or a rift which existed within the community, because this person was a part of the community for about 16 years. He used toy car remote as the trigger device. There was a gathering that was happening of Jehovah Witnesses, and that is where he planted this bomb. Let me cut across to my colleague Neetu Regukumar, who is joining us on the broadcast and getting us more details on the story. Neetu, first give us the basic details of the investigation so far. You've been pointing out in your reports that very little has been said on record by the police. Most of the information is trickling via sources. So give us the details that exist officially.
See, the details that we have as of now, officially the arrest has not yet been recorded, at least that confirmation has not come out, but through way of sources we are understanding that this is a guy. Even when the Chief Minister spoke to the media, he said that whatever he has said, apart from his confession, the police is also looking into if there is anything more into it. That is also being investigated, and they are not completely closing out, because all that should come out in further investigation. So that is what the Chief Minister said while meeting the media. But Dominic Martin has gone and surrendered. He has even recorded himself. There are videos incriminating himself is what we understand, but police has also found CCTV visuals. There are documents that the police have linking him to the crime. What we understand is that the NIA team is also here. NIIG Vijay Sakre was also here from yesterday. He's also been questioning. So they are making it clear, and only after that an official announcement will happen is what we are understanding as far as the investigation goes.
Are there chances that there could be more accused involved in this case? There's also a political controversy that has happened on this matter. But as far as the investigation is concerned, Neetu, why are your sources? What are the indications that you're picking up?
No, as of now, what the police saying that this was how this person had acted, because alone is what they are also inching towards. That is what our sources are also saying, because the bomb, the explosive that he used, these are all materials that are easily available. They say that he made it at his home and with the help of internet, and he worked as a foreman in Gulf, so he knows about how the machine works and things like that. So as of now, the police theory, the investigating theory is that he has done this crime alone. But as I would repeatedly like to point out, none of this information has been given out officially. This is through way of sources that we are understanding. But we posed this question to the Chief Minister. He said these are all things should come out in the further investigation. We are not completely closing out anything. Let the investigation team do their job.
All right. Thank you, Neetu, for putting all of that into perspective. Let's also give you some more information about how these explosives were planted and created by the key accused who's under investigation right now. Number one, about 5 liters of petrol that was used for each bomb that was planted at the convention center at Ernakulam. There were jute bags that were used to pack the IEDs. All these materials are easily available. The accused allegedly Googled this information, put together all the material that he required, and all of them, most of these materials were easily available in the market. The radio frequency devices were used to trigger the bomb. We just told you that there was a toy car that was used as a remote or a trigger, and these IEDs were covered with cloth and kept under the chair so that nobody grows suspicious of any unidentified object. This was a convention center where hundreds of people had gathered, and the intention was to burn down the entire center, but the manner in which the blast happened, or the intensity of the blast, fortunately was not so high. Let me cut across to Arunima and get more details on this entire story. Arunima, tell us more. What are your sources indicating to you?
There's a clear difference in the way this IED was put together. Usually when you see ISIS-inspired, radicalized lone wolf attacks or even attacks by Lashkar, Jaish, a tiffin box is used, splinters are used, nuts and bolts are tightly packed with explosives in a container. And the reason for that is they want to inflict maximum splinter injuries. In this case, a jute bag was used. Initially, it was said that perhaps a tiffin box was the mode of containing the explosives here also. But after carrying out their crime scene, evidence gathering process, the NSG, the forensic teams, the local police, they have come to the conclusion that jute bags were used because jute bags are easily inflammable. Petrol was used, packed in plastic pouches, and these IEDs, or the improvised explosive devices, using firecracker explosives, low-grade explosives, were kept below, chairs. This was a banquet hall. If you see the visuals, there are 2 kinds of chairs there. One, the plastic chairs. The second, chairs which have proper cloth cover. The ones that you see at banquet, exhibitions or weddings. Why was the cloth chair selected? Because cloth is inflammable. Once the fire started, this would have contributed to the fire raging on. So Martin was very clear. He was there to burn down that entire convention center. The way this IED was made, it was made to be an incendiary device, made to cause fire. Look at the kind of injuries that people have had. 3 people who have died of, burn wounds. Others who are critical also have severe burn injuries. So that was the idea. And Martin is not hiding all of this from the police. He's confessing. He's saying that, yes, this is what I wanted to do. This is how I procured material. And this is the link I went to learn how to put these IED together.
All right, Arunima getting us all the sense and information about what highly placed sources are indicating to us. As Neetu pointed out, that officially very little information is on domain, in the public domain, but my colleagues getting you this inside scoop of what exactly is happening. Some reactions for you. Listen into some political voices on the story.
This is something that has, really caused, 3 people have died so far. Some are critical. Deepest condolences, as well as the government, calling upon the government which is taking care of only providing the medical attention to the injured. But at the same time, we have strongly condemned the manner in which the Hindutva brigade jumped into the fray in trying to conduct a campaign of Islamophobia and vitiate the communal atmosphere, and which unfortunately saw the participation of a union cabinet minister.
Ma'am, how many are critically injured? What is the situation at the moment?
We have 17 people admitted at different hospitals now. 12 are critically ill, and 12 are in ICU, and 4 are critically ill. We have the mother and brother of that girl child. They have burns more than 50%. Mother has got burns around 50%, and her brother has got burns more than 60%. And also we have got another lady admitted at Rajagiri Hospital. She's also ventilated, and she has also burns around about 60%. So by last evening and night, the rest of the injured people who are admitted, they had superficial burns. They were released, they were discharged after their observation.
Most of these injuries are burns, and most of these are women, ma'am?
Yes, the injuries are burns, and not most of them are, but children are there. We had that 12-year-old girl. She had 95% burns, and we now have a boy child who is 10-year-old, but he's okay. So it's such a heartbreaking experience. Especially the trauma that the children went through. They have fear in their eyes. So we have decided to give counseling to them, to give psychological support to them. And now the postmortem will be done for the 3 bodies. The inquest procedures have already begun. And also we have planned to do the DNA test for that first person who was brought dead. Yes.
But isn't reality always more than what meets the eye? There are various unanswered questions that lie in the way as far as this particular investigation is concerned. And because the details right now are very sketchy on record, we are forced to ask certain questions which must be answered. Now, Martin says he has made the bomb all by himself, but is it really possible for somebody to go ahead and make an explosive of this nature merely with the help of a Google tutorial? Did he really assemble the bomb? Where did Martin acquire all the materials? Some of them are easily available, but there are some which are not so easily available. Did he get any kind of help from somewhere else as well? And as I said earlier, was it sheer internet and the information that was available there, or there was any other help that was accorded to him? Why didn't anyone have any kind of suspicion? It doesn't look like a person who was merely disgruntled. This was a person who was socially imbibed, had a circle of friends and neighbors, and even then nobody could really suspect him. Doesn't it point out to a hardened criminal or somebody who was conspiring all along? Most importantly, the question for the investigating agencies is that, is this really a lone wolf kind of attack, or there is a need to go beyond the lone wolf theory and figure out what exactly this case is about? Let me cut across to my colleague Neetu, who is with us on the broadcast, and get more perspective on the story. Neetu, we've been talking about the various facets of investigation. A lot of politics, of course, has also happened on this matter. But which is the direction on which the investigation is going?
See, the investigation, what we are learning from our sources, they are pretty clear about the accused, and they are sure that this is the accused that they have in custody, and the NIA team is also here. So once everything is settled, right now also there is a meeting of the officers going on inside this airport lounge where we are standing right now, where the Chief Minister had addressed the media a little while back. So what we are understanding, what we know from sources is that the investigation line is that they have the accused in custody. They are almost certain that this is mostly done by him itself, and as the Chief Minister pointed it out, they are not closing out everything, but the investigation will find out. So that is what the Chief Minister has also said. But this is as far as the investigation goes. There is a lot of politics that is being played out over this. We had seen how Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar has reacted, how the Chief Minister has reacted back to him.
Yes. Thank you, Needu, for putting all of those details into perspective for us. Well, here's another important story which is panning out from the state of Kerala. After that rally, one of the rallies in Kerala was addressed by a Hamas leader. There's a controversy that has erupted in the state, and it's all-out political battle between the ruling left and the BJP. There are various barbs which have been exchanged, and talking about this, Israel-Hamas war and the manner in which political posturing has happened here in India, this rally was reportedly organized by the Solidarity Youth Movement, and this is the youth wing of Jamiat-e-Islami. It is an organization which is recognized here in India, and one of the slogans that was raised at the event was uproot, bulldozer, Hindutva and apartheid Zionism. Now, Khalid Mashal, he is a Hamas leader. Hamas is a designated terror organization by the US, right now at war with Israel, and he addressed a rally which has been a hugely controversial aspect. Let's listen in to some reactions and voices coming in. Mr. JP Nadda spoke over this.
I would like to share with you how it happened, who is in the government, why it is happening. That people have to realize and understand. Few days back, a leader of Hamas, he joined virtually here and he was talking openly about the Hamas. And this government was a silent spectator. What does this mean? You are bringing a bad name to the land of God's own country, Kerala.
Well, you heard the CPIM leader Hanan Mullah, who alleged that RSS is an organization which is promoting violence in the state of Kerala, and he somehow linked it to terror also. Let's cut across to him live and exclusive here on the Nation at 5 and ask him what is the basis on which he has made these kind of allegations, especially at a time when the government is under intense criticism for allowing that rally where there was a live webcast made by a Hamas leader. Mr. Mullah, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you for joining us on the Nation at 5. You spoke about the role of RSS and it being a major factor in the increasing violence in the state of Kerala. Do you really have evidence to back the claim that you have made, sir?
You know, this blast has a different type of incident. This where RSS and BJP is instantly started blaming the government. But the actual happened, it is a community that is one witness, Jehovah Witness. This is an organization, mainly American organization, and they have their unit in some other states, other countries. And this organization has their internal differences. And because of the internal differences, one person or two persons, though opposed to their line, they created the problem. It is nothing to do with other outside organizations. So it is an internal trouble by the organizations, quarrel between themselves, difference between themselves, and they did it. It is a terrorist activity, no doubt about that. Whoever does it, terrorist activities cannot be accepted, supported, and that should be curbed. And I think government is conscious about that there. They'll inquire it and find out how it was done, why it was done, what is the purpose behind it, and what should be the remedial measure. I think our Chief Minister instantly reacted that will inquire and find out the culprit and see that they are punished.
But sir, I also want to talk to you about this rally in Mallapuram and the fact that the Hamas leader Khalid Mashal was allowed to make a live address to the audience who was present at that rally. The organizers were Jamiat-e-Islami. Their youth wing had organized this particular rally / whatever gathering this was. And the fact that the government allowed something of this nature to happen, once again the BJP and RSS are accusing you and the left parties and your government of indulging into appeasement politics. Why was this allowed, sir?
That is the pet subject of the communalist Indian Hindu communalist, RSS, this is a pet subject. Everything they find it and everything they interpret in their own light, one color, and target the minorities. So that is their philosophy. We condemn that philosophy, we don't accept that. Law and order problem, definitely it was there, state government are there, they are serious about it, and it is their responsibility to find out why it was done, who did it, how it can be checked. So this instantly the minister's speech, central minister, the condemnable speech, because you want to target the left government. That, and from the day one they are trying to disturb this government, destabilize that government. It is a part of their program. So whatever happens, they try give such statement which is untenable, which is condemnable, which is communal, which is anti-left front government.
No, sir. I mean, the statement of the union minister, what the left party or the chief minister has to say versus the BJP, all of that is a political subject. But I believe one thing that the government must answer, because it's responsible for the law and order and administration, is why was a rally of that nature allowed? And okay, it was allowed under freedom of expression, like you'd argue. But then if there was a controversial live telecast done by a Hamas leader at a rally, was there any action that was taken against the organizers?
The rally was, rally, if democratic rights is there. If some organization book a hall and try to discuss something, why you cannot stop it. But the rally was targeted by their disgruntled element and they created this trouble. Why are we responsible for that? Our responsibility in that. In Delhi it became a jail, impossible to hold a meeting. I just coming from Jantar Mantar. Then at one they stopped it. No further. This is the fascistic, anti-democratic action going on in Delhi. You are not allowed to speak. You are not allowed to speak your opinion. But in a democracy, that is, can it be permissible? But if anybody want to hold a hall meeting, what will you do? How will you know what they will discuss it? What is the subject? They will discuss internal discussion.
Mr. Molla, my last question to you, and this is an oft-repeated allegation by the BJP as well, that are you using freedom of expression / secularism merely as a subterfuge for indulging into appeasement politics, or the government is soft on terror? That's a key charge that has been made against the present government. Respond to that, sir.
Secularism to you is a bogey. We try to unite people. We ask people to live peacefully, unitedly, with civilized way. And communalism, which destroy the unity, you take their cudgel. What is this? RSS is a communal organization, it's a fascist organization. They always try to support this hate campaign. Hate campaign is their invention, what is happening in the whole country. And that you are accepting their argument. They are constantly doing all these things. They are trying to secular, democratic, a peaceful living of the people. They are propagating communal division, hatred. What is happening in Manipur? Manipur is an experiment. Manipur is an experiment of Hindu Rashtra by RSS. And because of that, Modi is silent on that.
Well, sir, my job is merely to hear the argument on the both sides and put it on the table for our viewers to decide. Mr. Molla, thank you so much for giving us your time, and thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast this evening. There's some more breaking news which is coming in, and this pertains to the same rally that I was discussing with the left leader. Amid controversy over the Hamas rally in Kerala Chief Minister P Rajeev has said that it was a recorded message that was played out at that gathering. Investigation is still underway whether Jamiat had permission to air that video message. And I wonder what it says about an organization which is allowing the message of Hamas to be aired in this nature. P Rajeev has slammed the BJP for politicizing the issue, saying that they stand in solidarity with the Palestine cause. Listen in to what the Kerala Chief Minister said.
അതിനകത്ത് നാം മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ട കാര്യം, ജമാഅത്തെ ഇസ്ലാമി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന സംഘടനയുണ്ടല്ലോ, അവരുടെ യുവജന വിഭാഗമാണ് സോളിഡാരിറ്റി വിങ്. അവരുടേതായൊരു പരിപാടി മലപ്പുറത്ത് നടന്നിരുന്നു. ആ പരിപാടിയിലാണ് ഈ പറയുന്ന പാലസ്തീനിയൻ പോരാളി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരാൾ സംസാരിച്ചത്. അദ്ദേഹം ഈ പറയുന്ന തരത്തിൽ എങ്ങനെയാണ് എന്നുള്ളത് നോക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. അത് റെക്കോർഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു പ്രസംഗമാണെന്നാണ് തോന്നുന്നത്. അതിൻ്റെ കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൂടുതൽ മനസ്സിലാക്കേണ്ടതായിട്ടുണ്ട്. പക്ഷേ ജമാഅത്തെ ഇസ്ലാമി സാധാരണഗതിയിലൊരു പൊതുയോഗത്തിന് അനുമതി ചോദിച്ചാൽ പോലീസ് കൊടുക്കാതിരിക്കില്ല. എല്ലാ സംഘടനകളും ചോദിച്ചാൽ സാധാരണ അനുമതി കൊടുക്കുമല്ലോ. അങ്ങനെയുള്ള അനുമതിയാണ് ഇവിടെ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുള്ളത്. രാജീവ് ചന്ദ്രശേഖറും അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ കൂട്ടാളികളും നമ്മുടെ രാജ്യത്ത് സ്വീകരിക്കുന്ന നിലപാട് ഈ പാലസ്തീൻ ഐക്യദാർഢ്യം പ്രകടിപ്പിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് പ്രകടനങ്ങളും മറ്റും നടക്കുമ്പോൾ, അതിൻ്റേതായ പരിപാടികൾ നടക്കുമ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഭാഗമായി കേസെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുമോ നോക്കലാണ്. അവരെ കേസിൽ കൊടുക്കാൻ നോക്കുകയാണ്. അത് കേരളത്തിൽ നടക്കില്ല. പാലസ്തീൻ്റെ കൂടെയാണ് നമ്മൾ എല്ലാ കാലത്തും നിന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്, രാജ്യം നിന്നിട്ടുള്ളത്. അതിൽ നിന്നാണ് ഇപ്പോൾ മാറിപ്പോയിട്ടുള്ളത്. അത് വേറൊരു ഭാഗം, ഞാനിപ്പോൾ അതിലേക്കല്ലല്ലോ നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ കൂടുതലായിട്ട് പോകേണ്ടത്. പക്ഷേ ആ ഒരു മാനസികാവസ്ഥ വെച്ചുകൊണ്ടാണ് ഇതിനെക്കുറിച്ച് പറയുന്നത്. ഇതിൽ സാധാരണഗതിയിൽ ചെയ്യാൻ പാടില്ലാത്ത എന്തെങ്കിലും നടന്നിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ അത് പോലീസ് പരിശോധിക്കുകയും നടപടികൾ എടുക്കുകയും ചെയ്യും. അത്ര മാത്രമേ അതിൽ കാണേണ്ടതായിട്ടുള്ളൂ.
Carrying across to my colleague Neetu, who is with us on the broadcast. Neetu, could you put into context what the Chief Minister has said and the fact that a recorded message was allowed to be aired at a rally? Did the organizers have permission for it? Have the authorities or the police agencies questioned them on this so far?
See, it was last Friday that in a meeting organized by Jamaat-e Islami in Malappuram, that Hamas leaders spoke. So at that time, from that time, the BJP leaders have been raising this issue. Even Rajiv Chandrasekhar, the union minister, have raised this issue. But this was the first time that the chief minister or somebody from the government is responding to this. Today, when he posed this question to the chief minister, that this is what the union minister and BJP leaders are saying, that you are giving, under the chief minister, who's also the home minister, radicalization is increasing, and you're giving you are allowing Hamas terrorists to interact or to speak to the people in a rally. So when we posed this question, the chief minister said that, see, this was a Jamaat-e Islami program. It was done by their youth wing. And what they understand is that it was a recorded message. And he went on to say it was in this meeting that a Palestinian fighter supposedly spoke. We have to look into this. We have to see this, whether he is what he's referred to. This is what the chief minister said. And he went on to say that Union Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar and his friends would want to register cases against any kind of solidarity movement or solidarity protest happening with Palestine, and they're trying to do that in other places, but it will not happen here, because here we have Kerala has already said that they are with the people of Palestine. So this is what Chief Minister P Vijayan has reacted to it, and this is the first reaction coming from Chief Minister after this entire controversy erupted.
All right. Thank you, Neetu, for putting all of that into perspective for us. We'll continue tracking all the developments here on CNN News 18. For now, slipping into a very short break on The Nation at 5. Stay tuned, stay with us.
इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से, ताकि जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है गाजा के अंदर हमास का, उसको क्लियर किया जा सके। कैमरा पर्सन करम आपको लगातार वो थिक धुआं दिखा रहे, जो मोटा धुआं है वो आपको दिखा रहे, जो कोहरे की चादर की तरह पूरा आसमान में फैल गया। आपसे महज कुछ देर पहले ये हमला किया गया और लगातार धमाके की आवाज आपको मिल रही होगी। दूसरी तरफ इधर भी आपको दिखा दे, थोड़ा सा कैमरा राइट हैंड की तरफ पैन करके, हल्का धुआं वहां भी आपको दिख रहा है। वहां आधे घंटे पहले हमला किया गया था। और इस तरफ शजैया से अगर नॉर्थ की तरफ जाएंगे, यानी इजराइल की तरफ बढ़ेंगे, तो यहाँ ये उत्तर गाजा है, गाजा का उत्तरी हिस्सा है, जहां हमास के लड़ाके बहुत मजबूत है। और एक ये सेंटर है इधर, गरम आप ये सेंटर दिखाई, हमारी अंगुली के सामने आपको दिखाई कम देगा यहाँ कैमरे के लेंस पे, लेकिन आपको बता दें कि यहाँ सामने भी धुआं हमें दिख रहा है। वो कैमरे में कैद करना, क्योंकि पीछे नीले आसमान से वो मर्ज कर रहा है, तो इसलिए थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा आपको कैमरे पर हमारे लिए दिखाना। लेकिन एक बार फिर आपको वो काला धुआं दिखाते हैं, जो अब से महज 5 से 10 मिनट पहले जो धमाका किया गया है इजराइल की तरफ से हमास के अंदर, शजैया छोटा सा कस्बा जैसा है, वहां की जनसंख्या अधिक है, घनी आबादी वाला इलाका है, पूरा गाजा घनी आबादी वाला इलाका है। तो सजैया में ये हमला किया गया है आर्मी की तरफ से। तो एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कवर फायरिंग लगातार दिन भर पिछले 3 दिनों से दी जा रही है, ताकि जमीनी आर्मी को अंदर में हमास के सुरंगों पर कब्जा करने में कोई दिक्कत ना हो। इजराइल की सेना गाजा के अंदर घुस चुकी है, तो दूसरी तरफ इजराइल गाजा बॉर्डर से, इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से लगातार तोप और टैंक कवर फायरिंग भी दे रहे हैं जमीनी आर्मी को। इस वक्त हमारे पीछे आप लगातार देख सकते हैं तोप और टैंक के धमाके की आवाज आ रही है। और इस वक्त सामने में गाजा के अंदर एक बड़ा हमला किया है, तोप और टैंक से यह हमला किया गया है और आप देख सकते हैं धुएं का गुब्बारा।
Welcome back, and let's cut across to some latest developments coming in from the poll-bound state of Telangana, where the Pradesh Congress chief G. Niranjan has written to AICC President Mallikarjun Kharge, and he has expressed dissatisfaction over the ticket distribution and the calls that have been taken so far by the party high command. It is also being asked that this is something which is not acceptable to most of the party workers and must be taken care of. Another former Congress MLA, Vishnuvardhan Reddy, has also joined the BRS after Congress gave a ticket to Mohammad Azharuddin to contest from Jubilee Hills constituency. Let me cut across to Swastika and get more details on the story. Swastika, dissatisfaction after ticket distribution in state units is not unknown or is not unheard of, but is there a serious problem within the state unit right now?
Well, many of the senior Congress loyalists and leaders who have in fact performed for the party, as they claim, are being allegedly sidelined by CPCC Chief Revanth Reddy. And now what is happening is that
Swastika, we'll just repatch your line. There is an audio issue there. But as I was arguing earlier, that each time when a state goes for elections, there are often problems within the state unit. There would be leaders who are happy, there would be leaders who are unhappy, there would be certain new names that will be brought in. So dissatisfaction is not unheard of, but it can be a point of concern if it causes a widespread dissatisfaction amongst the party cadres or workers. Is that the case? How grave is the problem? How serious is the problem? We'll try and connect with Swastika and get more details. Swastika, please go ahead. Make your argument.
Well, Anusha, after the Congress released its first and second list, there seems to be a lot of disgruntlement among several leaders and party loyalists who feel they have been sidelined. Now, in that context, the latest headline is, of course, former Congress MLA Vishnuvardhan now switching camp to the BRS, and that's because after the party decided to give ticket to Mohammad Azharuddin for Jubilee Hills constituency. Similarly, in fact, as far as another senior Congress MLA was concerned, 6-time MLA from Nagar Kurnool, Janardhan Reddy, has also decided to switch camp and join the BRS. Joinings have also been happening in BJP, and this is because several of the Congress leaders, in fact, G. Niranjan has written to Mallikarjun Kharge alleging that parachute leaders, as in leaders who have come in from other parties, are being given opportunity, allegedly in exchange of some bribes, as he's mentioned, while senior loyalists and the likes of him are being sidelined. And this is an allegation, remember, that has come time and again for the Congress party, especially against its Telangana party chief, Revanth Reddy. But as far as the Congress is concerned, they've rubbished all these allegations and said that their candidature and the list that they've been coming out with is based on the surveys and the ground reports that have been given by poll strategist Sunil Kanugulu, and on those criteria, as well as Congress's internal surveys, have also been one of the main factors why the first and second list of the Congress party has seen several new names.
Thank you, Swastika, for putting all of that into perspective for us. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. Let's move on to another important bit of news that has come in from the Supreme Court of India. And this is about the bail that has been denied to former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia. The Apex Court bench, two-judge bench led by Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul, has denied bail to Manish Sisodia. He has been an accused under investigation by the CBI and Enforcement Directorate under the Delhi liquor policy or the excise policy scam. The Apex Court prima facie has accepted the averments that were made by the CBI in its charge sheet, arguing that the financial trail, especially about 338 crore rupees that CBI seems to be speaking of in their charge sheet, seems to be a case which is developing, and prima facie that argument can be accepted that if Sisodia were to be given a bail, there could be further damage to evidence or that tampering can happen. There is a portion of the charge sheet that the court has reproduced in its order and said that based on these arguments advanced by the CBI in their charge sheet, we are of the belief that right now he cannot get relief. If the trial is slow, if after 6 months there is no progress in the trial, he can once again move for bail. But now, for now, his legal options and remedies are exhausted, at least for 6 months. Some reactions and voices.
देखिए, जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट मनीष सिसोदिया जी की जमानत की हियरिंग जब सुन रहा था, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने काफ़ी तीखी टिप्पणियां ईडी के केस के खिलाफ करी थी। उन्होंने बार बार ये पूछा कि पैसा कहाँ है, मनीष सिसोदिया जी के पास पैसा कहाँ से आया, मनीष सिसोदिया की किसी कंपनी में आया, उनके परिवार में आया, उनके परिवार से जुड़ी हुई कंपनी में आया, लेकिन ईडी कोई भी उसका सबूत सामने नहीं रख पाई। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने यहाँ तक पूछा कि एक अप्रूवर की स्टेटमेंट के अलावा कोई भी सबूत ईडी के पास नहीं है, ईडी का पूरा केस सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक अप्रूवर की स्टेटमेंट पे आधारित है। लेकिन इतनी तीखी टिप्पणी करने के बावजूद भी आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने इसके विपरीत आदेश दिया है। हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट का सम्मान करते हैं, लेकिन हम सम्मानपूर्वक सुप्रीम कोर्ट के आदेश से सहमत नहीं हैं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर अभी अभी अपलोड हुआ है, उसको हम स्टडी करेंगे, हमारे वकील उसको स्टडी करेंगे, और इसको स्टडी करने के आधार पर आगे क्या अगली कानूनी कार्रवाई हो सकती है, क्या लीगल नेक्स्ट स्टेप्स हो सकते हैं, उस पर निर्णय लिया जाएगा।
Ananya Bhatnagar with us on the broadcast. Ananya, the details of the bail order, please.
Well, definitely, Anusha, this is in fact a 41-page order that has been given out by a bench headed by Justice Sanjeev Khanna and also Justice S.P.N. Bhatti, very, very clearly and categorically denying bail to Manish Sisodia in this particular case, clearly noting that tentatively the money trail has been established and the same finally would be established at the time of trial. It is very, very clearly noted that there is material that is available at this point of time, and exactly has reiterated the charges that have been made by the Central Bureau of Investigation and also the Enforcement Directorate in this particular case, very, very categorically noting that the 338 crore of money transfers there were tentatively, their material has been given out by the agencies, and there is material on record, though that would be tested at the time of trial. At the time of trial, the court has also asked that the trial should be completed in a span of 6 to 8 months, and if that does not happen, Manish Sisodia can come back and apply for a bail in this particular case. So at this point of time, at least for next few months, Manish Sisodia will have to stay in bail until and unless he finds a new ground to get a bail in this particular case. Anusha.
All right. Thank you so much, Ananya, for getting us all the details and updates on that entire story. We'll continue coming back to you and get more details. For now, slipping into a very short break here on The Nation at 5. Stay tuned. Stay with us.
आसमान में सूर्य की रोशनी के नीचे आपको एक बड़ा धुएं का गुबार दिख रहा है, और हमें जो जानकारी दी गई है ये सजैया है। लगातार तोप टैंक की आवाज आपको मिल रही होगी, क्योंकि गाजा के अंदर इजराइल की आर्मी घुस चुकी है, लेकिन अभी भी जमीन से ही तोप और टैंक से ही हमले हो रहे हैं इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से, ताकि जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है गाजा के अंदर हमास का, उसको क्लियर किया जा सके। कैमरा पर्सन करम आपको लगातार वो थिक धुआं दिखा रहे, जो मोटा धुआं है वो आपको दिखा रहे, जो कोहरे की चादर की तरह पूरा आसमान में फैल गया। आपसे महज कुछ देर पहले ये हमला किया गया और लगातार धमाके की आवाज आपको मिल रही होगी। दूसरी तरफ इधर भी आपको दिखा दे, थोड़ा सा कैमरा राइट हैंड की तरफ पैन करके, हल्का धुआं वहां भी आपको दिख रहा है, वहां आधे घंटे पहले हमला किया गया था। और इस तरफ सजैया से अगर नॉर्थ की तरफ जाएंगे, यानी इजराइल की तरफ बढ़ेंगे, तो यहाँ ये उत्तर गाजा है, गाजा का उत्तरी हिस्सा है जहां हमास के लड़ाके बहुत मजबूत है। और एक ये सेंटर है इधर, गरम आप ये सेंटर दिखाई हमारी अंगुली के सामने, आपको दिखाई कम देगा यहाँ कैमरे के लेंस पे, लेकिन आपको बता दें कि यहाँ सामने भी धुआं हमें दिख रहा है। वो कैमरे में कैद करना, क्योंकि पीछे नीले आसमान से वो मर्ज कर रहा है, तो इसलिए थोड़ा मुश्किल होगा आपको कैमरे पर हमारे लिए दिखाना। लेकिन एक बार फिर आपको वो काला धुआं दिखाते हैं, जो अब से महज 5 से 10 मिनट पहले जो धमाका किया गया है इजराइल की तरफ से हमास के अंदर, सजैया छोटा सा कस्बा जैसा है, वहां की जनसंख्या अधिक है, घनी आबादी वाला इलाका है, पूरा गाजा घनी आबादी वाला इलाका है। तो शजैया में ये हमला किया गया है आर्मी की तरफ से। तो एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कवर फायरिंग लगातार दिन भर पिछले 3 दिनों से दी जा रही है, ताकि जमीनी आर्मी को अंदर में हमास के सुरंगों पर कब्जा करने में कोई दिक्कत ना हो। इजराइल की सेना गाजा के अंदर घुस चुकी है तो दूसरी तरफ इजराइल गाजा बॉर्डर से इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से लगातार तोप और टैंक कवर फायरिंग भी दे रहे हैं जमीनी आर्मी को इस वक्त हमारे।
All right, let's cut across to some latest news coming in from the state of Telangana after BRS Dubbak candidate Kotha Prabhakar Reddy was stabbed during an election campaign. Chief Minister KCR has said that this kind of political violence in the state is unprecedented and they're going to take action. They warned of dire consequences if this continues. Let's listen in to what the Chief Minister said, then I'll connect with my colleague Swastika.
ఇలా దుబ్బాక అభ్యర్థి మీద జరిగిన దాడి దుబ్బాక అభ్యర్థి ప్రభాకర్ రెడ్డి మీద కాదు కేసీఆర్ మీద దాడి జరిగిందని చెప్పి నేను మనవి చేస్తా ఉన్నా. ఈ దాడులు కనుక ఇట్లే ఆపకపోతే సెల్ఫ్ కంట్రోల్ చేసుకోకపోతే మాకు కూడా దమ్మున్నది మేము కూడా అదే పనికి ఎత్తుకుంటే మీరు ఎక్కడ మిగిలరు దుమ్ము కూడా మిగిలరు అని చెప్పి నేను మనవి చేస్తా ఉన్నా.
Swastika, what is the context to this statement and how serious was this instance where Prabhakar Reddy was stabbed during the election campaign?
Well, Prabhakar Reddy currently is under observation at a hospital in Hyderabad, and remember he was stabbed by an assailant by the name Raju, and the allegation coming in from the BRS side is that this is a political violence, though they have not taken the name of any party, but there has been a speculation on which party Raju belongs to, and the initial tweets from the BRS suggested that he belongs to the Congress party, and then later there were some counter tweets from the BJP. From the Congress rather, saying that Raju belongs to the BJP, while the police is in fact investigating on that front. KCR has stated sharp attacks at the opposition here, mainly hitting out at BJP and Congress, saying that this kind of political violence is something Telangana has never seen in the last 10 years, and if provoked, then we also, as he says, are capable of carrying out many things, but we don't do because politics should not be mired in hate. Big statement coming in from the Chief Minister, even as the BRS is likely to scale up this attack on their Dubaka candidate as well as BRS MP Prabhakar Reddy.
All right, thank you Swastika for putting all of that into perspective. Let's move on and talk about the Israel-Hamas war. The Israeli forces are advancing into the Gaza Strip. There is a ground assault that has been launched, and the latest update coming in is that they have advanced about 2 miles into the Gaza Strip as part of the second stage of the war with Hamas. There is a hostage-like situation that prevails in different parts. The humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip and West Bank is clearly worrisome, and the international agencies, including the United Nations, have expressed their concern over what is happening. There seems to be no end or de-escalation to the violence that we have seen recently between Israel and Hamas, and the civilian casualty, especially on the side of Palestine or Gaza, is only increasing by the day. We get you some special reports. Have a look.
A group lobbying for the families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas say the safety of their loved ones needs to be a top priority for the government. Their concerns come as the Israeli military expands ground operations in the Gaza Strip.
Keep pushing.
Adva Adar believes her 85-year-old grandmother is in Gaza, based on photos and footage purporting to show her capture. Reuters could not independently verify the location or date of filming of videos showing hostages being kidnapped.
My grandmother doesn't have the time to wait. She needs to be back home now. She's ill and she needs medication and she needs medical care.
On Saturday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel's goals in the war were to destroy Hamas's governing and military capabilities, as well as return the more than 200 hostages.
As her boyfriend, I truly afraid that these two goals is like in conflict with each other.
Noam Alon's girlfriend, Inbar Hyman, is one of the hostages.
I think that first, the hostages should be free.
Israel has tightened its blockade and bombarded Gaza since Hamas gunmen stormed across the border into Israel on October 7th, killing at least 1,400 people, as well as taking the hostages.
We are not political people or, military people. We are two simple people that try to save our sister.
Leah and Leonia Nye believe their sister Moran was taken hostage at the Nova Music Festival.
We found a clip from TikTok with begging for her life.
And they say time is of the essence.
If Moran is listening to us, Moran, we are united together. We love you so much.
Continue to be positive as you are, and think about the big hugs we're all going to give you when you come back. And I want you to know that we're doing everything we can to bring you back home as soon as possible.
इजराइल की सेना गाजा के अंदर घुस चुकी है, तो दूसरी तरफ इजराइल गाजा बॉर्डर से, इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से लगातार तोप और टैंक कवर फायरिंग भी दे रहे हैं जमीनी आर्मी को। इस वक्त हमारे पीछे आप लगातार देख सकते हैं तोप और टैंक के धमाके की आवाज आ रही है। और इस वक्त सामने में गाजा के अंदर एक बड़ा हमला किया है, तोप और टैंक से यह हमला किया गया है। और आप देख सकते हैं धुएं का गुबार इस वक्त आसमान में, सूर्य की रोशनी के नीचे आपको एक बड़ा धुएं का गुबार दिख रहा है। और हमें जो जानकारी दी गई है ये सजैया है, लगातार तोप टैंक की आवाज आपको मिल रही होगी, क्योंकि गाजा के अंदर इजराइल की आर्मी घुस चुकी है, लेकिन अभी भी जमीन से ही तोप और टैंक से ही हमले हो रहे हैं इजराइल की सीमा के अंदर से, ताकि जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है गाजा के अंदर हमास का, उसको क्लियर किया जा सके। कैमरा पर्सन करम आपको लगातार वो थिक धुआं दिखा रहे, जो मोटा धुआं है वो आपको दिखा रहे, जो कोहरे की चादर की तरह पूरा आसमान में फैल गया। आपसे महज कुछ देर पहले ये हमला किया गया और लगातार धमाके की आवाज आपको मिल रही होगी। दूसरी तरफ इधर भी आपको दिखा दे, थोड़ा सा कैमरा राइट हैंड की तरफ पैन करके, हल्का धुआं वहां भी आपको दिख रहा है, वहां आधे घंटे पहले हमला किया गया था। और इस तरफ सजैया से अगर नॉर्थ की तरफ जाएंगे, यानी इजराइल की तरफ बढ़ेंगे, तो यहाँ ये उत्तर गाजा है, गाजा का उत्तरी हिस्सा है, जहां हमास के लड़ाके बहुत मजबूत है। और एक
The Israeli military is in what the Prime Minister called a, quote, new phase of its war with Hamas.
We're going to fight for the homeland and we won't withdraw. We're going to fight on the ground, at sea and in the air. We will destroy our enemy above and below the ground. We're going to fight and win.
Israel's military said it exchanged gunfire with Hamas and struck targets in northern Gaza on Sunday. The death toll in Gaza has risen to nearly 8,000, according to the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Ramallah. And the United States is emphasizing the importance of protecting civilian lives in Gaza as the fighting escalates.
We stand firmly for the proposition that all measures should be taken that are reasonable and responsible to protect the lives of civilians.
Families of more than 200 hostages in Gaza are growing increasingly fearful for their missing loved ones as Israel steps up its operations in the enclave.
We want all back, and we don't care what they will give for that.
Israel's defense minister says rescuing the hostages is the military's top priority and that the fighting will expedite their return.
As we hit Hamas harder, there is a better chance that the enemy agrees to solutions to the return of our dear, loved and beloved ones.
Among those being held hostage are some Americans, whom the Biden administration is working to get released.
We believe that there can still be a pathway to get their release, and we are going to work tirelessly to make that happen.
नौजवान साथी हमारा है, केंद्रीय मंत्री बनवाने में मेरी भूमिका थी उनको.
And as far as I'm concerned, whatever job I've been given, whether it's in Jaipur or Delhi, in the organization or in the government, I've done my fullest.
उन्हें गठबंधन बनाया, इंडी गठबंधन. जब बाढ़ आती है तो जान बचाने के लिए एक ही पेड़ पे आदमी भी लिपट जाता है, सांप भी बैठ जाता है.
I've run elections for 44 years, and they are going to preach to me where I am from. It's rubbish.
55 वर्ष तो इन्होंने जनता को सबक सिखाया, अब इनको होड़ लगी है मुझे सबक सिखाने के लिए. जवाब इनको जनता से ही मिलेगा.
दिग्विजय सिंह ने कहा है कि आप एक नौटंकी कर रहे हो. आपको बुरा लगा ये सुन?
मुझे अंतरात्मा पे जैसे चोट की हो किसी ने.
अमित शाह जी हमको डराए मत, हम लोग डरने वाले नहीं. छत्तीसगढ़ को बचाना है कि छत्तीसगढ़ को लुटाना है, क्योंकि अडानी की निगाह यहाँ के कोयला खदान पे, यहाँ के लोहा खदान पे, यहाँ की इंडस्ट्री पे, सब पे है।
Welcome everyone. Thanks a lot for staying with us. You're watching Plain Speak with me, Shivani Gupta. The political storm in India over the Indian government's stance on the ongoing Israel-Hamas